Let's select the fork. For the fork, which is the project, so we have to select our fork underscore GS. This is our debug variant. So once you select, check the target whether it is connected or not. Once the target is connected, just click on your debug. Once you click on your debug, then your program will be loaded over here. As you can see, your program is loaded over here now. So what are our variables? Our PID, right? So this PID, so this has been shown over here as a part of the variables, as a global variables. You can also add any additional global variables if they are present. As we are not using any other global variables, we can show here, for example, error number, let us add it. So this will make a value of error number if and only if there is any error. Okay. And you can try to keep breakpoints also directly by clicking at any of the location. So normally, as we understand, the load of the program starts from your main. So the first location at which it starts from here is your printf. Okay. So now let us try to debug this program. So we are trying to create a main program. So here is a console window where the printfs are being printed with. So the moment when we said this is our main program for the fork, then you are saying PID fork. So when you are saying PID fork, what it does, this fork is having a value, as you can see. Yep. Okay. Now this is your program has been forked with. So when you say based on, so now you are saying the PID, get PID. So this get PID is of your parent process, as you can see. So now when you try to click this particular printf, you can see this is our parent process 946214. And what is our PID? Our child process. As you can see, this is our child process. Now if you try to again make a PID over here, you can see those things, the created processes. As you can see, 950311 is your child process and your parent process is 946214. Okay. Now we are trying to switch based on our PID. So currently, under whose control is our process? Is it with the parent process or is it with the child process? So as we understand, as per the case study, we say if it case 0 means it's a child process, right? So we did not execute our case 0 condition over here. So we directly jump to the default condition saying that we are currently in the parent process. So now we say that forking is successful, and then we are saying printf get PID. So we are printing the parent process ID, and we are printing the child process ID, and then we are saying wait. So this wait condition makes your child process to run. So when you say this wait condition, now your child process will try to run now, and then it will say printf this is back in the parent process. So during the wait, your child process will be running. Okay. So once this is done, we come back. So in this way, we find two processes. As you can see, two processes running simultaneously. So where we are calling from parent process, we are trying to create one more process. Okay, two processes in that way. So similarly, you can. This is something called to be as your forking. So forking is something like totally creating a new process. Okay. Okay, fine. So now let's try one more example, that is your spawning. So spawning is a concept where we see, so now we have seen how to compile and how to build a project in our IDE, and we have also seen how to debug just now from the IDE. Now the next example, we'll try to make it from your virtual machine itself. So here where you can see So so you have something called as VI editor, where through the VI editor, just like your Linux, you can make a spawn executable to open with, and this spawn can be, in order to edit it, I think you are aware of these things, right? So edit this particular piece of code, then you can say like I, where you can insert and where you can try to edit it, and you can say like colon, sorry, so printf escape colon vs. So quit saving it. Sorry. Colon Q, right? Colon Z. Okay. Now once this is done, we can also, this is one way where through the VI editor you can do it, and similarly there is also something called as PED. So this PED happens to be a graphical editor, which is otherwise called to be as your photon editor. Okay, so this photon editor, which talks about, for instance, spawn dot C. So it tries to open a window kind of stuff, where through which you can try to verify further, edit your program code, piece of code, as you can see here. Okay, so in this regard, you can see here for the spawn operation, we have the std definitions, the standard files definitions, and in regards we have the process.h. As I told you in the last session, this process.h is the header that is implemented with your API calls like spawn, exec, and also your fork. Okay, so these APIs are defined in your process.h file. So when you're trying to call such functions, such APIs, so you have to include this process.h file. Okay, now so here as a so what is spawning? Spawning is totally creating a new process, right? So here you can see that. So this is a tested program.